Hello everyone, it's Cara. Welcome back to the Rambutina channel. Today's tutorial is going to be on this super easy, simple tote bag, literally just made from 2 big granny squares. So I'll just first of all talk you through the materials that I'm going to use for this tutorial. Today we're using ice yarns, Lorena worsted in this really nice bright yellow colour. I think this one is called dark yellow on the website. I will have the link to this yarn in the description box below, and it will be an affiliated link with Ice Yarn, so if you click on that link and purchase through that link, then it helps me out and helps out the channel. So Lorena worsted is a 55% cotton and 45% acrylic blend, and it is a 4 medium weight yarn. This is 100-gram balls and you get 160 meters, round about that, and you get 4 skeins in a pack, and these tote bags use just under 200 grams, so you just need 2 skeins to make one of these tote bags. So I can actually make 2 tote bags from a pack. So here I have a pink one that I've already made and a green one, still the same yarn, just in the different colours, and again I will have these colours and the links in the description box below. So I've done 1 square already, but I will obviously show you how to get started on this tote bag. You want to use a yarn that is quite sturdy, so that's why I'm using this yarn, and this one's my favourite because I like how thick it is, and yeah, because it's got that cotton, it's basically half cotton, it makes it really nice and durable and sturdy. So, you know, if you're using like just an acrylic, if you put things in the tote bag, it might droop the bag and make it fall and kind of break. So yeah, this yarn is really great for that, and like I said, I really like the thickness of it too. It just makes it feel like a sturdy tote bag. So yeah, I've already made 1 square and I caked up the yarn, and I need to go cake this up now, and this is how much I've got left over from doing this square, and then I will use this to make the straps later on. So yeah, you literally just need 2 balls for this project, which is great. So yeah, let's get into the tutorial. I'm just going to quickly cake this up so it's easier to work with, and then we will get started on how to crochet a solid granny square. Really easy. And so yeah, for this first one I've done 11 rounds, and then for the second one I will be doing 10 rounds so that I can then join it. But yeah, so for the first square you want to make 11 rounds in total, and you want it to be an odd number because we are turning each round, so for it to look nice and have the center round and the very last round to be the right side up, you need an odd amount of rounds. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so I've got my yarn all caked up now, and I'm going to be using a 5mm crochet hook with this project. So I'm going to take my yarn and make a slip knot. I'm going to leave a generous tail. And then we're going to do a standard granny square, a solid one, so we're going to turn it so it's nice and even and the square doesn't turn out wonky. So I'm going to start off my granny square with chain 4. You could start with a magic loop, but I just prefer this method, it feels more secure. So I've got chain 4, and I'm going to slip stitch into that very first chain to make a loop. And then going into the loop with my hook, pick up the yarn, and we're going to make a beginning double crochet. So I'm going to start off with a single crochet right into that loop, and then I'm going to put my hook into this bar here, this one here, and make another single crochet. So you've got 2 single crochets, one on top of the other, to create a beginning double crochet. instead of chaining 3, we've done this beginning double crochet because I think it looks a lot nicer. So then we're going to finish this first cluster with 2 more regular double crochets. Then we're going to chain 2 to make the corner and do 3 double crochets into the loop for the next cluster. Chain 2 for the next corner and 3 double crochets into the loop. Chain 2, 3 more double crochets. And then pull on the loose end, or tail end, that we've crocheted around to make that square nice and tight. And then I'm going to chain 2 for the last time for this round. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to slip stitch into that beginning double crochet. So you can see the stitch here, because you can count back. You can go 1, 2, 3. So we can see that the stitch is there. We're going to slip stitch, slip stitch into that beginning double crochet, and that's our first round of 4 3 double crochet clusters and 4 chain 2 spaces to make the corner. So you've got your very first round of the granny square. So because we're doing a solid granny square and we're using the same yarn, and we want this square to come out nice and neat and not wonky, I'm going to turn my work every round. So we're going to start off with a chain 1, just a chain 1, and then we're going to turn our work so that we're working into that corner that we just made. So turn your work, and then we're going to work right into that corner with 3 double crochets. So again, we're not doing chain 3 as our turning chain, we are just chaining 1 and kind of pretending that it's not a stitch, and then just doing 3 double crochets as normal. So we've got our 3 double crochets and our chain 1 there, and I'll show you later what that looks like in the end with our full granny square. It's really hidden, I think, so I think it's the best way to do a granny square. So then we're going to chain 2 to make the corner, and then put 3 more double crochets into this same corner space. So we want to put 2 clusters of 3 double crochets into that corner space, and that's always going to be our corner pattern. That's what we'll always do in the corner. So then I'm going to chain 1 in between each of our clusters as well. So chain 1 and then go into the next corner with 3 double crochets. So we've put a chain 1 in between those 2 clusters on top of this one, and then we're in a corner space again for the second round. It's all corner spaces, so we're gonna chain 2 and put another 3 double crochet cluster in there. Chain 1 and then into the next corner with 3 double crochets. Chain 2 for the corner and 3 more double crochets. Chain 1 and then we're in the last corner now, so we're going to do the same thing again, 3 double crochets, chain 2 for the corner, and then 3 more double crochets into that last corner space. So now we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to slip stitch into the first double crochet that we made for this round. So slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 1, turn our granny square, so now we're working on the right side again, and we're going to go into this space here, so the space that we just made with that chain 1, we're going to go in with 3 double crochets. So that's how we turn our work and start every round. We slip stitch, we chain 1, and then we just go into the next space with 3 double crochets, just like that. So now I'm going to chain 1 because we're in between clusters, and we're next into a corner space, so corner pattern, 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 more double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, and we're into the next corner space, so I'm going to place 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 more double crochets. Chain 1, and we're going to make another 3 double crochet cluster into the next space. Chain 1, and we're in the corner again, so the corner pattern. Three double crochets, chain 2 for the corner, 3 more double crochets. So we always chain 2 for the corner space, whoops, and we always chain 1 in between our clusters along the straight line. So we're going to chain 1 here and do our next 3 double crochet cluster. And yeah, that is the same pattern for the whole square now. Chain 2, 3 more double crochets, and then chain 1, and we've reached the first cluster that we made for this round, so I'm going to slip stitch into the very first double crochet, slip stitch, chain 1, turn, and put a 3 double crochet cluster into the next chain space, or the chain space that we literally just made. So 3 double crochets into there. So now we're on our 4th round, and I'm going to do the same thing, chaining 1 in between our clusters and chain 2 in between our corner clusters. So for the first granny square, because you need 2, for For the first one, you want to keep on going until you have 11 rounds. So here I've got the first granny square, and we completed 11 rounds, and you can count by the corner. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And oh yeah, I can show you what the chain 1 join looks like. So you can kind of see it here. I think it looks pretty neat, and our square is not wonky. It's nice and straight, and it's not leaning or pinwheeling in one direction. So yeah, I completed 11 rounds of this granny square, and to finish it off you want to slip stitch into the first beginning double crochet of the last round, chain 1 to fasten off, and then just cut your yarn. So that's one square complete, and then I'm working on my second square right now, so I'm going to continue making rounds, and for this one I'm going to make 10 because we're going to join on the 11th round. So make your first granny square, 11 rounds complete, fasten off, then you want to grab another skein so that you don't have to make a join in your yarn. Grab another skein to start your second square and complete 10 rounds. Don't fasten off, and then we will come back to show you how to join the 2 squares together to make a bag. So yeah, I'm just going to continue doing the same pattern, and because we're putting 2 clusters in each corner, it will increase it to be this size. Okay, so I've just finished my 10th round for the second granny square, and I'm going to start the 11th round, which will be our joining round, so we need to have our other square ready. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm just going to continue as normal up until the corner. So I'm just going to do the regular pattern, 3 double crochets, chain 1 into each chain 1 space. Okay, so I've done my chain 1 before the corner, and what I'm going to do is grab my other square. So we've got this square that we're working on right now on the right side. You can tell because the first round is the right side and the last round that we're working on right now is the right side. So I'm going to take the other square and put it the wrong side. So right now it's the right side. I'm going to just turn it over. So now it's on the wrong side. We can tell because our tail end as well, but also the middle. The first round is on the wrong side as well as the last round. So have that flat on the table like this. And then I'm going to match the tail ends together. So I'm going to have the tail end at the top, so this will be the opening for our bag. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 clusters so far, and this will be the top of the tote bag, and we've got that tail end of the other bag here as well, so they'll be at the same spot. So we're at that corner now, and we've got our square ready underneath, and I'm going to start my corner with 3 double crochets, then we want to chain 1, and then I'm going to pick up the other corner and flip it so it's like this, go into the corner space of the other granny square and make a slip stitch or a chain. Chain 1 again, and we're going to place 3 more double crochets in that same corner space to finish off that corner. So now we would usually chain 1 in between our clusters, but because we're joining, we're going to grab the other granny square like this, kind of fold it like this, and I'm going to slip stitch into the opposite space of the other granny square, just like that. And then I'm going to make my 3 double crochet cluster into the next space. And then instead of chain 1, we're going to slip stitch into the next space of the other granny square. And then carry on this pattern all the way down. So placing 3 double crochet clusters as normal into the chain 1 space of the current granny square. And then instead of chaining 1, we're going to slip stitch to the other side. So I'm going to continue all the way down, and then we will do the next corner together. So yeah, this is just your simple join as you go granny square method. Super easy, and it's great because you don't have to join new yarn, you literally just work as you go. So we're at the next corner now, so I've done my 3 double crochets, and we're going to do the same thing again where we chain 1, slip stitch into the other corner, and chain 1, and place 3 more double crochets into this corner space. That's your second corner joined, and then we're going to slip stitch into the other side and continue the same pattern, 3 double crochets, slip stitch into the other side. And I'm going to continue joining this side, this is the bottom of the bag, as well as this side, so we've already got one side attached. So yeah, just continue joining all 3 sides and then leaving that last side open so it's the top of the bag. Oh, my voice. Okay, we're on the last corner now, so 3 double crochets, chain 1, slip stitch into the other side in that corner space, chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets. And now we're at the top of the tote bag again, so where we started, and we're just going to continue up until this first cluster that we made, just like normal with our chain 1s, so no slip stitching here. Last cluster, chain 1, slip stitch into the first double crochet, chain 1 to fasten off, pull on it tight so it's nice and secure, and then we'll weave in those ends at the end. There we have the bag part complete. Now we just need to add the straps. So yeah, all 11 rows, 11 rounds I should say, of both granny squares complete, and they are joined together on 3 sides. So now we're going to work on the straps. So taking the top of the bag, I am going to start the strap 2 clusters in. So from the corner we've got 1, 2, and I'm going to place my strap, or start my strap, here in this space. So taking my yarn, I'm going to make a slip knot. And I'm going to go into that space, so after the 2 clusters at the corner, I'm going to go into this space with a standing single crochet. Then I'm going to make 3 half double crochets into this same space. So 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and place 3 half double crochets into the 3 half double crochets. So into that first one, and we're going to ignore the first standing single crochet that we made. We just want to make 3 half double crochets into the previous 3 half double crochets. So that's the strap pattern. Now we just need to make 52 rows, or however long you'd like to make your straps. So again, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and place 3 half double crochets into the 3 previous half double crochets. So continue this pattern of 3 half double crochets into each stitch, chain 1 to turn, and chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, it's just our turning chain. So I'm going to continue doing this until I've got 52 rows, and I've got an easier way to count that actually. You could count as you go, but I like to just crochet and then every now and again stop and count how many rows I've got. So half of 52 is 26, so I like to count in 2s, and because we're doing the half double crochet stitch, you can clearly see each 2 rows. So you've got 2 rows here, and we can see that because of this kind of braid that it creates here. So there's like a distinct line there, there, and then obviously this is our other one. So we can now count 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 8 rows. So yeah, that's just a little tip on how to count half double crochet rows when you're just half double crocheting into both stitches. It's super easy to count in 2s because of those bars. Okay, so I've completed 52 rows for the first strap, and it measures about 18.5 inches or about 47.5 centimeters. Okay, so now we need to attach it to the other side of the tote bag. So still working on the same square, we're going to attach it to here, and I'm going to chain 1 after our half double crochet, make sure it's nice and flat, no twists in it, and we're going to go into this space here. So after the 2 clusters by the corner, we're going to go into this space here with a slip stitch after our chain 1. Pull it tight, and then we're going to make a half double crochet into the first stitch, We're going to slip stitch into that space again. Move it across. You might have to move it over a little bit. I'm just going to zoom you in. Then I'm going to half double crochet into the next stitch. And slip stitch into that space again. You're going to have to move it over so you can fit your slip stitch in there. So yeah, we're just making half double crochets into each of the 3 stitches and then slip stitching into that space so it's really nice and secure. So this is the last half double crochet. Slip stitch into that same space, in that chain 1 space, and then chain 1 to fasten off. Cut your yarn and pull it tight. There you go, that's how you join the strap, and that's how to complete one strap. And now we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side, on the other square. So going into this side here, after the 2 clusters, I'm going to start my strap here and do the exact same thing, 52 rows, and join it on this side. And that will be our tote bag complete after we've weaved in our ends. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was easy to follow and you like the pattern. I think it's a really super quick project because we're using this thicker yarn. Because we're using a 4 medium weight yarn, it means the project goes really fast. So it's a nice, easy, quick pattern to whip up when you need a tote bag. I think it's great for gifts, and we're coming up to the Christmas season, so this is a great present. Here is the tote bag all complete. I'm really happy with this design. Don't forget to use my link in the description box below if you're going to get the Lorena worsted yarn by Ice Yarns. They have so many colours to choose from, so you can definitely make a tote bag the colour you want. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you're having a lovely day, happy crocheting, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!